Okay, next up to add to our charts is TDI, Traders Dynamic Index. Now, this is a monster of an indicator that can teach you so much. In fact, when you get good, you can trade just TDI alone. But for now, we're going to cover just a few things. So today, all we're going to do is add the TDI onto our chart and then go over just a couple of the basics. But just know that we're going to expand on it more into what you saw into the video as we go into the exercises and as we get closer to the execution and entries. TDI is another indicator. So we're going to go into our indicators. We are going to type in the search bar TDI, and you should see it's called Traders Dynamic Index. It should be the first one here. And when you click on it, it should add directly to your chart, and it should show up on the bottom just like this. Okay. So I'm going to get the chart out of the way here as we take a look at what TDI is. Kind of get the lay of the land here. This is Traders Dynamic Index, and it is a momentum scale. The extremes of this indicator are in these lines. It has its own grid. So this red line up here, this is its 80 line. Then we have the next one. This orange one is a 70, the 50 halfway mark. Then on the other side, we have 30, and this green one is 20. So just know that in this playing field, the red and the green are the absolute outer edges. If it does hit these or even surpass these, it won't stay there for long. Price will correct and come back inside of the range. When it hits these 70 areas, we tend to pay attention to those because that's right where price is usually going to reverse or pull back before going again. So you'll see that these become these little boundaries. So you see here it hit it, but then pulled back before continuing on. And you'll see what I'm talking about in the chart. Other things we pay attention to is these blue bands, this channel. Okay, these are called your volatility bands. And this is how much price is moving. So if price is barely moving, those bands get really skinny. And then when price really starts going, those bands really open up. So you see right here, there was a big monster shift in price really fast. So that band really opened up. And then let's see if I can find a squeeze. There. Oh, here's a good one. When price gets kind of choppy, it really squeezes together. And a lot of times that happens near this 50% mark because that's a balance line. So this 50% line is the same as your 50 EMA in the charts. Little advanced topic, but you will notice that when price crosses this 50 line, this dotted line, it's about the same time as it will cross your 50 EMA, this yellow line, your EMA. On the lines themselves, this green line is the price line. Okay, so this is the one that will match the movement of price. This red line, we'll call it the signal line, but it's a smoothed out version of the green line. So think of it like an EMA for the green line. It's just it will move with it, but it's a little slower and a little later. So we use it as a signal. This yellow line right here, you can ignore this for now. Just know that it exists. So as we are looking through our trading, what we will see is that as price pushes down into those lows, right? Remember how we marked the highs and the lows in the trap move anchor? When it comes down to the lows is when it'll get near these 70 lines, and then it will pull back up to about the 50, and then it will push back down to a low again. In fact, this one went all the way up to some high and hit the 70 mark, okay? So these are the areas that we pay attention to. Okay, this is most likely a high, and this is most likely a low. And we'll show you on the chart in just a moment. So we're interested in areas where it hits these 70-30s. And then because this is our signal line, of course, you know about that green-red cross, we are interested in this little green-red cross right there. And we love when there's a green-red cross as it pops out of the band near, or if it's after if it has already touched a high, then we like this area and we like this area. We like when that happens because those tell us that those are most likely places that we want to enter. So let's go see how that worked out off of just TDI. Oh, and we're outside of our window. Shucks. Let's go in our window and find one. Okay. So can we see here that price came up to this high? Okay. It's outside of the bands. It's up here near the 70. And wouldn't you know, that is the highest part of our chart that we can see. And then it went back to some balance. And then it opened up again, but this time a little bit lower. That is one of our most perfect entries right there. Okay. So we like to pay attention to those. One of the other things that we really like to see are pop outs. So on a higher time frame, when price pops out of a band, it means that it was pushed a little bit too far for that time period. And it has to come back in to balance out before it keeps going. So in this case, it popped out 3 times here to the low. That means that it was really being pushed low, okay? For whatever reason, it's just good information to have. We don't want to make it mean anything just yet, as we're going to get into that later on as we trade more with TDI. But just know that these are the areas that we're most interested in. When it pops outside of these bands, and then also when it pops outside of the bands and it's up here near the 70 or the 30. These I'm really interested in, okay? So these are the exhaustion pop outs, okay? The ones that pop out near the high and the low. And these that kind of pop out during the middle that are around the 50 mark, these here that kind of popped out in the middle of nowhere, these are those continuation or expansion pop outs. So these are actually good. It means that price is being pushed, but once it hits that too far, it's going to retrace and come back a little bit. It's going to push out again too far, and then it's going to pull back a little bit. And it's going to push out again too far, and then it's going to pull back a little bit. So you'll know when you're trading, let's say that you entered a trade right here, and then all of a sudden it goes down, and then you started seeing going back up, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's the wrong way. I have to get out and go in the other way. You wouldn't, because you're going to see that TDI is, you're not near a low. It's not done yet. It's still in the middle of the move. And so you can be sure that this is just a pullback, that it's just going to pull back, close out to its EMA, and then keep on going. Okay. So there's little nuances to trading this. Like I said, we'll get better. But just for now, I just want you to kind of realize the behavior of some of the things that TDI can do for us. There's a way to put TDI directly on the chart. And for a long time, I did it accidentally, and it drove me nuts. So I'm going to show you how to do it on purpose. So if you ever do it on accident, you know what to do. All right. If you grab TMI, just grab it with your mouse and pull, like grab and hold, pull it up to the chart, let go. It's going to put TDI directly onto your chart. Okay, now it might look a little chaotic. So let's clean up a little bit by putting our line chart on. Okay. And so now you have 2 scales over here, by the way. One is for your TDI and one is for your price. So what we're going to do is kind of see if you can put them both together. And I like doing this because you can really see how they move together. Now know that TDI will scrunch in a way that price won't. So they won't always line up. But it is cool when you can see when they stop lining up, because that's information. So for instance, on the trap portion of this, they're moving together. Everything's fine. And then you can see that price starts moving down and TDI kind of stops. Okay. So like I said, that is information. This is your divergent area. This is where price keeps going down and TDI stays flat. So we are going to put our little divergent channel on. Price is going one way and TDI is going another. Okay. How would I make this channel? If you come over here to the left, where our trend lines are, you will find a disjoint channel. I know we didn't add to the favorites. You can go ahead and do that. And you're just going to click on it, drag it out like you would a channel, and just stretch it down. Like anything else, you can change the background. You can call it divergent. Okay. All right. So now, why do we care about that? Let's for a second hide TDI. And let's look at just our chart now. So if TDI is moving down, or excuse me, if price is moving down and TDI isn't, this is the end of the move. And so we know that we can start watching to see that it's going to start going the other way. It doesn't mean, you can get out. Absolutely. As soon as it stops matching, you can get out and just wait for your next setup. But like I said, it's just information. Usually it marks a trap high or low. So for instance, this being divergent, it signals to me that this is the trap for this next move. Okay. Like I said, you're going to get to know this as we go on. But this divergent area is the trap move for this move over here. Fun stuff, right? Since we already have TDI on our chart, let's mark some pop outs. So go into settings. We're going to clean this up because this is a whole lot. And all I want is the green line and the blue bands. So we can take off, the green line, the blue bands, and the high or low. You take off the red, take off the yellow, and you can take off the 50. So now we should just have the two upper and lower bands, our green line, and then the grid, okay? Our levels. We want to overlay the chart so that TDI and price kind of match up, okay? And as we do this, let's say we're looking at this area right here, okay? You want to overlay it so they match up as best as you can. And then as you move through it, let's say we're looking at this area here, we're going to have to kind of stretch our price so that it fits on there a little bit better. And then if we're looking at this area here, we're going to have to shrink it back, something like that. It's a little bit annoying, but trust me, this is going to be worth it. So just for right now, we're going to do it on this time frame. But really, I want you to do it on the higher time frame. But this is a really good example. Do you see where the green line kind of pops out of the band? So these are very little. All right. But let's say we grab this one here. It's not quite at the 70. Sure. Let's mark it. We're going to drop this ray right here. You should have had. If you did not set up your horizontal ray, come into lines, and it's going to be the second one down. There's your ray. Okay. Add it to your favorites. Okay. And I'm going to make it, sure, blue is fine. I like that one. Okay. So we're going to put a pop out because that's when price, barely on this one, but it popped out of the V bands kind of near a high. And let's do another one. Let's do the next one. So let's see, make price match. Okay. Go up and down so that it kind of fits the high and fits the low. And then we're going to drop another right when it pops out of that band. Okay. Let's do another one right here, this next one, since we're all lined up and it pops out of that band. Okay. Let's just grab those three. Let's hide TDI again. I want you to see where this popped out. Price hit this again and almost again. And I bet if we put our candles on, it's going to hit it again. Okay. So price will come back and revisit these places where it pops out. In fact, it has to. Wherever price pops out of the band, it has to come back and revisit. Now, on this time frame, it was very small, but you can see it did act as a perfect resistance point. So price came back up to it and then left a big monster move right from that point. These two weren't as relevant, but that's because they weren't near a high or the low. These were near the 50. Okay. So we really like the ones that are up near a high and are pop outs at the high. If you mark them, just know that the next time price comes up to them, it's likely going to act as support or resistance, which we'll go into later. But right now, just know that we want to mark those pop outs. Let's go ahead and move TDI back to its own pane down here. So to move it back down to its own pane, just right click on it and hit move to new pane, either above or below, and it should put it right back where it was. So for now, play with TDI, pull it on and off your chart, and just kind of look at the way it moves compared with price. Take off your candles, put on your line chart, and see how that green line and your line chart interact and play with each other, and see how price actually moves through the TDI scale. You might find some really fun things. All right, but for now, that's it for today. We'll see you in the next video.